Hello everyone, how are we doing today? Hope you're keeping okay, hope you're keeping safe, hope you're keeping sane. Another day closer to freedom, another day closer to normality, and another day closer to me getting this mop cut, and I cannot wait. Right, on to the subject of today's video. Now this is actually triggered by something that happened with my YouTube channel over the last week or so. I was casually just checking sort of my analytics to see if anyone had looked at my most recent video. Turns out a few of you had, which was great. But I did notice that I'd lost a few subscribers. And then I'd lost a few more, and then I gained some more and lost some more. Anyway, this went on over the last sort of week or so, and I sort of started watching it almost a little bit incessantly. I started watching people join the channel and then watch people leave the channel, and it happened quite a lot. And this made me think, you know, why is this happening? And I knew why this was happening because it's something I've actually witnessed time and time again, not with my own channel necessarily, but with gambling recovery forums, GA forums, the GamCare forum, other channels, that sort of thing. And it's something that I've noticed time and time again. And it's quite an unfortunate thing, really, and it's based on just the very nature of the addiction with which we suffer. A lot of people come to my channel, and I'm sure others like it, and far bigger organisations than myself, such as GamCare. People come to seek advice, they come to seek help, as we all do, in our hour of need, and that hour of need is quite often triggered by an event. In gambling, this is most frequently and most likely to be a substantial loss, or some damage or harm to their life or to their relationships off the back of, almost certainly, a substantial loss or an extended period of gambling or a particularly bad or particularly long gambling session which has caused them a real problem, which has made them address and identify and address the problems they're facing with gambling. I can tell this again myself by looking at my YouTube analytics, with the exception of videos I make on streamers and things like that, which I've sort of not done for a while because I'm not sure how beneficial they are. They're the ones that get the most views, but after that, the videos that I make that get the most views are the ones that talk about recovering from a big loss, or what to do if you've just experienced a big loss with gambling, or what to do if you're basically in a particularly bad way because of this addiction. They're the videos that get the most views, and interestingly enough, and this certainly would ring true with me, a lot of my views are at times that are juxtaposed to the majority of YouTube usage. I get an awful lot of views and a lot of people coming to my channel at the small hours of the morning, particularly on weekends. Between sort of 3 and 4 a.m. is actually really quite a busy time for traffic on my videos. And I can totally understand and totally relate to this, because that would be the time at which I would be often ending a session of online gambling. And obviously, as we know, more often than not, a long extended session of gambling will end up in a loss. So, to go back to my original point, why are people leaving the channel? Why are people joining the channel? And why is this cycle sort of significantly different on this channel and others like it than it is on sort of your average YouTube channel, your average vlogger or your average whatever? And the reason is I believe, quite simple, because it was again a cycle that I went through time and time again. People have a bad loss. People have a bad experience. Something bad happens in their life because of their gambling, because of their addiction. They have a momentary feeling where they feel a need to address it. They need to do something about it. And to be honest, if we're honest with ourselves, if it's a big loss, we want to get our money back. We feel like we need some sort of reconciliation with what's just happened. So we go looking for advice, because underneath it all, we know we have a problem with gambling. I knew I had a problem gambling long before I even thought about doing something about it. You know, so you come looking for some sort of reconciliation, and you, in your mind, whilst you can't get that money back instantly, your mind thinks, right, I'll get that money back over time by not gambling. So you come on a channel like mine. You sign up, you watch some videos, great, everyone's a winner, right? Over time, that feeling, that motivation, that push you got to come and watch my videos, to go on to GamCare, to go on and seek actual help, not just some random bloke rambling, right? That what pushed you to do that fades. The gambling hangover, as I've often called it, and I did make a long dramatised video about the gambling hangover, which was removed by YouTube. Thanks for that, guys. And that fades, and the urges then come back, and you start gambling again. And I don't know whether it's psychological, I don't know whether it's sod's law, but what generally happens is when you start gambling again, you don't get those disastrous consequences. You don't get that big loss on the first however many X amount of sessions of gambling you have back, which leads your brain, as the gambling fog subsides, the gambling hangover subsides, and you get back into old routines, your brain goes, well, maybe it wasn't that bad after all. Maybe I'd had a bad experience. Maybe I don't need to stop gambling. Maybe I just need to reduce my gambling. Maybe I just need to limit my gambling. Maybe I just need to be a bit more aware, I just need to be a bit more sensible. I'll only play on small stakes from now on. I'll only bet on the Premier League. I'll only have a flutter at weekends. I'll only bet on the big race meetings. I just need to be sensible. I don't have a problem. I just got to let it, I just got a bit carried away. And what happens? You leave the forums, you unsubscribe, and you go back to gambling. Now, the other reason I believe that this happens, and I think a more concerning reason that it happens, and again possibly something that in my early days I was guilty of, is you come to places of advice, be it here, be it somewhere else online, be it another channel, and you look for a solution to your problems. You want a solution to your gambling addiction. You want a solution that's going to fix what you've just done. You want a solution to fix the loss you've just had. You want a solution to fix the massive argument you've just had with your partner. You want a solution to fix the problems you generated for yourself through gambling, but you want a quick fix. And you might want to fix realistically without actually putting in the work, or without actually quitting gambling altogether. And what you'll do is you'll watch my videos, you'll watch other people's videos, you'll go on the forums, you'll read all the advice, you'll go on GA, you'll read everything. You'll binge read, you'll binge watch. And you'll determine, unfortunately, from reading the people, accounts of people who have been there, done that, and, got the proverbial t-shirt, still haven't done that merch, by the way, got that proverbial t-shirt, you'll read that there is no quick solution. You'll read incessantly about blocks and measures put in place. You'll read about handing over your finances, about GamStop, about self-exclusion, about the triangle of addiction. You'll read about lifestyle changes and all the rest of things. All these things that I preach about time and time and time again, and the reason I preach about them time and time again is because I wouldn't listen. I always say I don't speak from a position of authority or a position of a high horse. I speak from a position of experience. I didn't want to hear this. I wanted to hear, flick this switch, done, you don't gamble anymore, and you can get your life back on track, and your money comes flooding back, and everything's a winner. But it doesn't happen like that. And quite often, when we're met with something that is inherently very hard, and quitting gambling is inherently very hard, we give up. We give up, in effect, giving up. And what we do is we think what the first example thought, which is, I don't want to do that. That's really hard work, and it means I can't gamble again. And I enjoy gambling, so what I'm going to do is gamble, but I'm going to do it a bit more responsibly. And I'm going to do it a bit less, and I'm going to spend a bit less money, and I'm going to, whatever, bet only on the weekends and all the rest of it. And we tell ourselves this, and we think, I don't need them. I don't need them and their advice and their experience. And the reason I don't need them is because I'm going to do it my own way. And I couldn't tell you how many times I decided to do it my own way. And if I'm honest, hands up, I am now doing it my own way. However, the my own way I'm doing now is far, far more based on the experiences and I want to say the expertise, but more the learned experiences of those people who have gone before me and who have done this and who have had a successful recovery for a decent length of time. I spoke before in a video about me having these grandiose ideas of how I was going to recover in my own way and my plan to be actively quit gambling. And I fell flat on my face every time. And in the end, the success I've had thus far, and I'll never say I've successfully quit gambling, but the success I've had thus far, if I'm honest, relates very, very much to all that advice I read, to all those people who had been there and done that I listened to, that I didn't want to listen to because their advice wasn't what I wanted to hear. It didn't fall in line with how I wanted things to play out. And I would have unsubscribed. I would have left that forum. I wouldn't have watched those videos again. And that, I believe, is why my subs fluctuate so much. And that's the very nature of it, you know. And plus, I ramble on quite a lot. Maybe people get bored and just click off. Fair play. Respect to you. And I think that the concerning thing, and what I don't like to see about this, is, I mean, ultimately, some people aren't going to be ready to quit. Ultimately, some people aren't going to want to quit. And those people, that's fine. You know, it's your life. You do exactly what you want. It's your life. It's your money. It's your experience. Whatever. You know, and you have to be in the right position. You have to want to quit. You have to really seriously want to do something about it. And you want to have to put in the work and accept that it's hard and it's not fun. And actually, in the early stages, it can drag up more crap than it actually fixes. You have to accept that. But what I don't like to see is, and I addressed this in one of my recent videos where I spoke about new gambling recovery channels, is when I started this channel, I spoke to and I watched 3 notable people, a lady and a guy who used to do vlogs in his van, and another gentleman who used to make these types of videos, talking about their gambling, talking about their recovery. And not only have they unsubscribed from me, I presume, but they no longer make videos. They've disappeared into the ether. And that, to me, cements this horrible cycle where we have to maintain vigilance, we have to maintain focus, and we have to accept that it's hard. I hope that they just decided that maybe YouTube videos wasn't from them, but obviously, you know, we've all been there and we know how these things can play out. So, if you don't like my videos, if you don't like me, if you don't like my content, if you think I ramble, if you don't like my hat or my stupid bloody Boris hair, cool, unsubscribe. You know, I totally respect that. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. But if you're watching this and you really need to quit gambling and you want to quit gambling, if you don't like me and you don't like my videos, then please seek help elsewhere and stick with it. That's the important thing. Stick with it. No, there is no quick fix. There is no easy way out of this. But there is a fix and there is a way out of it. You know, you might not fix your addiction. I don't know if you can fix an addiction, but you can fix your life by managing your addiction and maintaining vigilance, maintaining focus, and maintaining recovery. Thank you so much for watching as always. Thank you to my new subscribers. That's great to see. Stay safe, stay sane, not too long now, light at the end of the tunnel and all of that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, everyone.